Hey guys, welcome. LaMarcus Bailey here. Inside the Hashes, another player interview. I'm joined by Temple safety all-star. How can I say it? Introduction. Out of Powder Springs, Georgia, from Hillgrove High School, which has also produced a host of college and professional talent. We'll get into that a little bit later. Defensive back, primarily safety and nickel, can also play corner. As a 3-year starter at Western Carolina, Andreas put up 184 career tackles. 119 of those were solo. 5 interceptions, 3 of those in his freshman season. 19 pass deflection over the course of his 3 years. 2021 Conference Freshman of the Year, 2-time All-Conference player. 5 or more tackles. So this is the stat they got me right here. 5 or more tackles in 26 of 33 games. Definitely a top prospect coming into this next season. He'll be the draft class of 2025. A new addition to the Temple secondary in 2024. Andreas Keaton. What's up, dog?
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
No doubt. Introduction was straight.
It was cool. I can't complain. It was cool.
Right. It was good stuff. So Andreas, so recently, you guys started, not recently, it's been about a month now, but you guys started spring practice March 12th. It's been about a month in. You're currently at Temple, spent 3 years at Western Carolina. So tell us a little bit about, just how you've been adjusting over the past month being in practice.
In general, the adjustment's been pretty good with the coaches, the teammates themselves. They've really been accepting all the newcomers. They've been accepting me. It's been good. The adjustments. When I talk about, of course, the environment, West Carolina is in the mountains and Philadelphia
in the city.
That was a switch up, but it was a good, healthy one. The field, everything is going good. No really big adjustments there. The culture here is good, and I will say I like how they accepted me, and they helped me adjust in a good way.
So I got a question. So in one of your earlier press conferences, I think it was your first one, when you guys started practice, and one of the reporters was asking you basically, what was your reason for trying to, for coming up a level? And I know you were basically saying God was telling you to, that was your decision. It was his decision. He told you hey, we need to make this move. So fast forward to a month in, right? You've been adjusting. Do you still feel like it was the correct move for you coming into this year, to your senior year?
Oh yes, sir. I do genuinely think it was a pretty good move, and I mean, God has been having my back, and He hasn't failed me yet. So I mean, like I said, I do feel like God was trying to hint at something and trying to get me to see what was going on for myself, and also, my family. They was a big part of the adjustment, which made the choice a lot more comfortable. And where I'm at now, I will say that it's going pretty good, and I can't complain. I'm gonna keep staying humbled about everything that's going on and keep letting stuff play out. But as right now, it's going good.
Gotcha. So I know you guys have the spring game on the 13th. That's this Friday, if I'm not mistaken. This Saturday. Has your family been up there yet since you guys started practice?
Nah, not since they started practice. The last time they came up here was probably when I visited in December, and then my family, of course, dropped me off up here when time to move in. But other than that, nah, they haven't really, from Georgia to Philly, so it's not just
a drive.
Yeah,
so that's a travel. Yeah.
So they haven't really been up here yet, but they're gonna try for sure.
So hopefully the first time they'll be up there to see you since then in the spring game.
Oh yes, sir.
So
hopefully we'll see. Yes,
most definitely. Right. So it's been a month in when the guy first asked you that question. You had just started practice. So a month in, describe the competition level. And what is some of the things that you feel like, maybe different from Western Carolina being in the SoCon?
Okay, so yeah, I've been getting that question a lot. I will say the biggest difference in the the program, the X, Y, and Z is just it's a little more intense. I will say that, but as humble as possible in my point of view, I don't really see the biggest adjustment on the field. It's not too many differences on the field. At the end of the day, a receiver and a DB.
That's understandable. I mean, and the reason I asked is mainly because there's been a lot of topic of discussion about the transfer portal and even out the level of playing field. So, in your opinion, do you feel like the level of competition in college football has really like leveled out with the transfer portal.
Yes, I definitely, because at the end of the day, everybody has speed, everybody has size, everybody has strength, so everything is just leveled out in college football in today's world. So I don't really see a big difference or a big jump.
Gotcha. Cool. So definitely understandable. So describe your game. Tell us a little bit about when you're on the field. What's kind of like, what do you feel like you would describe yourself by? Like, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I would say smart, highly smart. Hard to talk about myself, but I'll probably
it's
say
okay. This is the time.
a smart, a high IQ guy, a tackler. You're gonna get the person on the ground, and of course, I can play in space. I believe in that. I feel like in today's generation, that is the world we live in. The game. Yeah. Offenses, are able to put people in space, talent on talent. So I do think that me being able to play in space is a good thing. But I do think I'm a high IQ guy that can play in space.
Gotcha. I mean, definitely from watching your tape, you have a lot of instances where you're playing in a lot of space, making a lot of open field tackles. One play in particular, I know the Georgia Tech game in 22. That was one of the earliest, first drive actually. You popped off the game really nicely with open field tackle on a stretch, I want to say, a bubble screen or a stretch, I believe. So yeah, it was a really big play. Playing at that level, I think that was one of the first instances where I kind of knew, like, yeah, this guy can play on any level. Have you got that before? Like, has anybody? I mean, obviously you mentioned it earlier, but from specific plays, do you get that, like, hey, this guy can play on any level?
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, I'll be able to say, yeah, I do hear that, and get those type of comments and stuff, and everybody's gonna be in your ear, and everybody's gonna have something to say. But I do get those comments every now and then. Yes, sir.
Definitely, because the scouts turn on the tape, that's likely those are the first games they'll go to. So definitely big. The legacy of playing at Hillgrove High School. You came from a really powerhouse high school at the time. You've played with a lot of guys actually littered through the SoCon. So tell us a little bit about, your roots and kind of where you come from and into what it's kind of like done for you.
Hillgrove is home. You Coach Ironside, Coach Shalom, the Gerdas. Those guys are the foundation of a lot of our time, in our careers, whether that's, becoming a man, leading, playing on the field, of course. A lot of guys just been successful coming through Hillgrove. And being able to be a young guy, not 3 years old, that's exaggerating, but being in middle school, being the ball boy, watching y'all guys run on the field, from the Evan Ingrams to the Eric to the Hughes to the Miles Murphys, all those guys, like being able to watch those, the Lance Wise, the Jalen McCulloughs. I'm trying to chat and I don't want to miss out no one, you know what I'm saying? But just seeing all those guys and how they grew before my eyes kind of really opened up things, and gave us younger guys in my class and below, just things that what could be done. You seeing the Bradley Chubb, those guys getting that jump out and getting the thing that you want as a kid, go to NFL, play college ball. It kind of lines up and it's like, okay, well, I have a chance to sit back and see what's going on, and I can follow the footsteps. And I think that Coach Ironside and the Hillgrove program, they naturally had that successful rate, whether it was winning or turning a young guy into a man. And I think all that correlates to the field. So I will say that Hillgrove foundation is a healthy process.
100%. Yeah, and the reason I brought it up is, when the scouting time comes, a lot of pedigree and foundation matters. I mean, it definitely does matter. You go to a lot of situations where guys are coming from certain programs where it's consistently producing the same players. So I think that's a big thing to mention as something that I really look into. Something definitely is part of my research whenever I'm looking into players. So that's big. So this is a question right here. Answer how you want to, all right? Do you think that the NIL has been good or bad for college football?
At the end of the day, I do think that NIL was a good thing, of course. Because whether you want to call it or not, I do think that college ball it's a possibility of a job. It is time consuming X, Y, and Z. But sometimes it can get out of hand, as we all know. Especially with the portal rule, the new rule. I do think it can get out of hand. But also I do think it's a good resource for us younger guys if you are using it the correct way, in a healthy manner. With people watching over your back, I do think it can be used in a helpful way.
100%. Good answer. So let's get into some more fun questions. So if you could play any other position, offensively, what would it be?
Quarterback.
Have you ever played quarterback before?
When I was itty bitty, 2, 3, 5 years old, Fair Oaks. I was quarterback then.
Okay. All right. I know a little something about Fair Oaks. I know some guys that can't do that. All right. So, favorite sport outside of football? Not best.
Favorite.
So you can a guy that can hoop.
I don't know. I would say the baseball, basketball, of course, but I do like to watch baseball. It's slow, but it's just the environment is cool vibe. So,
have you played baseball? Never played.
No, sir.
All right. So hobbies outside of football, outside of sports. What are some things you like to do? Bowling. Yeah. Are you good? You're pretty good. You have your own ball?
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
Wow. Do they have names?
Do they have names? Nah, I don't got them. I ain't like that.
Yeah, like that.
Nah, ain't there yet. But no, I like the ball for sure.
Okay, cool. So, as we wrap up, so let's get into kind of what you've been doing over the past month, which is spring practice. Going into this last few days of practice, I know you guys are starting to wrap up. What are some of the things that you feel like you've kind of improved on, and what are you looking forward to going into the game?
The thing that I felt like I improved on this spring was the little details. My coach Bowman, Coach Withers, they really focus in on the little details. Whether that's you got the right foot up or the wrong foot up. So the small details, I feel like I've improved in a lot. And what a lot of people don't realize is that those details matter the most. Those details get overlooked. So I do think, having your eyes in the right spot, making sure that, your pad level is low, triggering, all those good things. I feel like, I've improved on the little detail that they want me to improve on and to keep growing on, I would say. So I would say that, small details, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. The minutia of the game, like you said, details. That's big. So I know you've had some matchups over the past month, like some guys that you like. Okay, they definitely helped me improve my game, and I know it's friendly competition. So who are some of the guys on the offensive side of the ball that are like, those are some guys like that take my game to the next level, but I like to compete against them on a daily basis?
We got some talent. It's a lot of talent. I would probably.
I know you can name a lot of guys. Anybody specifically, just off the top of your head?
Off the specific, it's close. I would say, of course, our receiver Dante. He's a good one. But I would really say anyone in the receiving room that steps up to the line, you have to be on your A game. I don't think it's no one less, no one above. Like, in my opinion, I think that all of them, when they step up, you have to be ready to step up and match, and excel in your game. I don't really think no one really stands out. I think they kind of all stand out as a group. If you understand what I'm saying.
Understand. I know that's the humble answer. I get it.
Yeah, I don't think they.
But it makes sense. Like you said, it makes sense. Everybody kind of compliments. When you got a dominant group, if you feel like you got a really dominant group, then there's everybody is good in their own way. They bring something to the table. So that makes sense. That makes sense for sure. Well, so Any personal goal? I mean, obviously, you're super humble, so you probably won't give us anything, but just anything specifically, you're like, hey, this is a goal that I have for this season. Anything specific that you're like, I want to reach this.
Accolades. So of course I do want to try to get the all conferences and the all American X, Y, and Z. A big a goal that has been on my radar that I haven't been trying to look into much, but is the Jim Thorpe road. Jim, how do you say it?
The Jim Thorpe.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's something that I really am going to try to grind and get. But first we try to win. Focus in on the team first, and
of course,
everything else come. I think the goals, all the stats and stuff. I'll just let all that come. Just playing the game.
And the good thing about stats, when you're doing the right things and showing up for your team, they just somehow appear. So that's that's nothing wrong with wanting to have accolades, but as long as you're playing within the game, within the team, that's all that matters. So great to hear from you, Andreas. We appreciate you tapping in with us. Looking forward to the spring game this upcoming weekend. So if you guys are in Temple in the area, check out our guy Andreas Keaton. And number 19, correct? Still staying at number 19?
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
I don't got an answer yet. We'll see though.
That's a bet. Well, let us know on Twitter if anything changes.
Of course.
That's a bet. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to another player interview. And we look forward to joining us on our next installment. Tune in to our weekly podcast, our RPO podcast, our Air It Out podcast throughout the week, and also our player breakdown. We have a couple more players coming up pretty soon as the draft approaches. Again, thanks. Follow us on Inside the Hashes, Instagram, Inside Hashes on Twitter, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.